So excited to introduce our first talk for part 2 on the stage today, Journey from Front-End Engineer to Engineering Manager with Nataliya Pasichnyk. Nataliya is an engineering manager at Codility. She has 5 years of experience working with front-end technologies. She currently leads a team of engineers, supporting their development and helping the team to deliver great features. She tries to combine coding and team management, mostly working with React, but she's not limited to that at all and still acknowledge developing other technologies. Nataliya is also a mentor in various programs which supports beginners in their path to IT. After work, she spends most of her free time exercising, cooking, or reading books. So welcome, Nataliya.
Hello, I'm happy to be here, and today I will share about my journey from front-end engineer to engineering manager. So I will begin with my short introduction, and I'm a Ukrainian girl living for last 8 years in Poland. I have 4 years experience as front-end engineer. Now I'm managing a team of 4 great engineers. Recently, I also joined Women Tech Makers as ambassador. I think that sharing your knowledge is also a great way to develop your skills. So for last 3 years, I often join different programs as mentor to support beginners to start their journey at IT. I'm mommy of 2 cats, like very annoying cats. I need to feed them at night. And my main tech stack is React, TypeScript, and Python. So before we will go into details of the topic, let's answer the question, who is an engineering manager? There's no specific definition. The role varies from company to company. And in my opinion, the most important thing to remember in this role is that you're now responsible for people and not just for yourself. As engineering manager, you direct, plan, coordinate activities. You support your team in development. You mentor and motivate technical specialists. For quite a long time, I didn't even want to admit to myself that one day I would like to be a leader. Although even at school or university, I love being in charge of a team and a project we were doing. I always prefer doing it in shadow of someone. Admitting to myself that I would like to become a manager someday didn't mean that I would become one today, but it gave me a perspective on how to develop myself. So I will share some ideas what helped me to get more ideas, what I can try being still as individual contributor in the team and considering engineering management path. So the first one will be leading team activities. No matter what position you're in, you can always find an opportunity to lead something. Back in days when we were worked in the office, I always organized team lunches, different team building activities, remote coffees, and other activities that can help to bring the team together. I also like to be a retro facilitator and making sure that we plan work on action points. You can also try to support your manager to get some idea what manager role is. Try to get some opportunities to support him. Maybe lead cross-team projects, prepare some workshop. If you see your manager needs some help, offer it and don't be afraid. Maybe he's like going for vacation, so say that you can support him and like being in charge of the team. Notice what can be improved and lead it. If you see that something can be improved in the team, do not expect someone else to do it, but try to take the initiative. When you're an individual contributor, you may see more topics than your manager because you're like working closely with the team, you're pairing with another developers. You don't have to fix everything yourself, but the fact that you will bring a topic that will later be resolved will help you to add more focus to the team than just on yourself. And one thing I also would like explore your responsibilities. As a manager, you will be taking care of the development of your team. To get some ideas, what does it mean? You can try yourself as a mentor for a new person in the company, or maybe some out of the work activities. For example, as I was joining different as volunteer mentor, even I was always thinking that I don't know enough and I still need to learn and I still need to wait, but it can help. Maybe you can also join some guild and try some topics there. So what's next? Yesterday you were just another developer and now you have new unknown responsibilities. And unfortunately, hiding is not an option. You need to start to learn what is expected from you and what are your priorities. You will get different new responsibilities. No longer you will have a lot of time to code and only occasionally maybe some extra meetings. You will need to start planning your day differently and accept that the most important thing is your team. We usually find afraid of something new, and in case of getting this promotion and trying, it's also important to give it a try, to figure out what is the most important for you to start, and don't try to do everything at once. It was my mistake and I was feeling really tired. You'll be getting more questions and answers, but step by step, you will adjust to it and feel more comfortable with your role. Remember, everyone starts once and you can do it. I recall when my first month, I was saying, no, I'm not able to do it. And I was ready to say I'm stupid, give me back my opportunity, going as individual contributor, but it's not an option. My start was different than I imagined. I was thrown in at the deep end quite quickly. I was offered to become an engineering manager when I least expected it. We went to a team offsite and my manager and PM asked if I had a moment. And I was like, let's go to a coffee. I found out that our engineering manager of our team was getting another offer still in our company and would be leading 2 other teams. And I was offered to take our team. I remember going to one of my colleagues and asking if he will support me, because it was my mentor when I joined my company. And I got support from my team and I tried. So when you are moving from individual contributor position, backend engineer frontend, to an engineering manager position, it's quite easy to focus on what worked before. And it's important to shift your focus to the team and act in their interests. So I have a question for you. Let's stop for a minute and think, what is a good manager for you? Please share in the chat your ideas. And Anna, I will ask for you if you have answers to share it on the screen. Okay, so I remember myself thinking about what is a good manager for me. It's someone who is listening and I can be open with. So going forward, what can make it easier for you and what can support you? What can help? So you got an opportunity to become an engineering manager. So let's discuss what can help you in your first weeks in your role. So the first one, I think what I missed, it was setting expectation earlier. It will save you a lot of time if openly share what do you expect from the team and how you can support them. And not discussing expectation would only result in a mismatch of them. Before setting expectations with the team, I encourage you to set expectations for yourself. Think about short-term and long-term ones. It will help you drive through hard times. Another, I think, very important one is delegation. You can do a lot on your own, but to make your team successful, it's important to delegate. Help to unblock your team and connect them with the right people to say up to for success, celebrate the wins with the team, and discuss if something can be improved. Just remember that you can't do everything yourself. And the sooner you start sharing your responsibilities the easier it will be for you and your team to succeed. Identify your values. With the transition to management, I got a wider exposure to the company. Another leads and manager will be asking for your opinion. Pretty often you will be representing the team, and identifying your values will help you to make decisions. Sometimes it will be tough one, but I think the main one for me, it's like people first and making sure like my engineers, my team is feeling good. And you need to take responsibility for decision. Now you are in charge of the whole team. Different people, different managers, leaders will be coming to you with different topics. And everyone will want to put this as priority. It's important to remember that at the end of the day, you'll have to account for this. And remember that sometimes it's worth refusing or focus on something else. I recall myself, like when my manager was coming to me with some topics, it was like, yes, I need to say yes, and like, no way. And only after a few times, like seeing that it was hard for me to manage this project or something, I learned, okay, I need to set priorities for my team and like also taking the responsibilities, because I'm saying yes. And in this case, I will need to ask my team to work on it, or maybe doing it on my own. And it's not the best way to, like, it's not a path to success. So no one is perfect. Realize it and accept it. On your way, you can make mistakes. Very important not to give up after the first one occurs. I remember, like, I think after my 2 first weeks, I got quite negative feedback with, and I recall that I was ready to go straight forward to my manager and ask if I can back to like front-end engineering track, because I was feeling comfortable in this position. I know how to develop my task, how to be successful. And here I'm getting like negative feedback, and it was hard for me to move forward. But as I get it earlier, it's make me like help me to define, okay, on what I can work and what can I support. So you learn how to solve technical tasks. You were doing well, and now you are starting something new. At first, it seems nothing like change. I would just get maybe 1 month with my team and continue writing code. Unfortunately, it's important to remember that it doesn't not work that way, and try to change the focus to the team, and just understand that to make a successful team, you can do like the same way of doing the tasks, and also like sometime like managing the team. So now, being responsible for the team, it's important to realize that you're not only responsible for yourself, but also for the team. And now if something goes wrong for someone in the team, it's also part of your job to help this person. Don't try to take ownership only over success, but remember that our failures are also like your responsibilities, and you can help to turn it on success. And don't think that the problem will resolve on their own, and don't try like to push it to someone else. And it's important to go in this direction that you're responsible and you will manage. So like, let's think what can help you and what can be useful for you. So you're starting a new path. To make it maybe easier, this process, try to find a mentor. Try to find someone who has been through similar challenges. Maybe your manager will be able to help or refer you someone. It's better to learn from somebody else's problems than like focusing only on making your mistakes and learning from them. One time when I got negative feedback, I wasn't prepared properly for a meeting, and really just didn't see what was expected from me in this meeting. It was the first time I was attending this meeting, and when I asked a question and I got an answer, I was able to quickly correct myself. It taught me that it's worth asking more questions to get understanding of those, and making sure like it's better to say ask twice, and making sure you're clear with the topic, and it will support you and also will reduce this awkwardness when somebody will be coming to you and you will not know what to say. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You are not alone in the company. Surely there's someone who can help you. I often discuss important issues with my team. My previous manager, sometimes some things are easier for someone else, but doesn't mean that you can do it. Just sometimes you need to wait, you need to learn, you need to get some experience. You can do a lot on yourself, but you're a manager, and it's hard to manage everything doing yourself, rather not. It's worth remembering that doing a job and delegating are just different ways to achieve an outcome. And I recall being an individual contributor as front-end engineer. It was easy for me, like, okay, I'm taking tasks and I'm taking ownership. I'm knowing that when I will finish with it, when it will push, and when it will be ready on production. And now when I'm coming with some tasks, I also need to ask my team what they feel when they see it possible to be doable, what can be like problem. And it's important to like give also them opportunity to success, like to learn, to bring some value to the team, and not trying to do everything on myself. Before I start my first job as front-end engineer, I did a lot of different courses, but still, when I joined the company, there were a lot of new things for me. Same happened when I became an engineering manager. I watched my team manager before, and it seems like nothing complicated. He was like having a bit more meetings than me, less time for coding, but I was like thinking, maybe he's like not good in time management, and I will manage like having the same amount of time for coding, but still managing the team. But no, when I started and there were a lot of new things, leading my first one was like, leading my first one-on-one was very scary. I wish I was better prepared, but if I can do it, I don't know, like generally, I don't know how many courses, how many like mentoring sessions you need to have to feel that you're coming and you know, because each team is different. And recently I was talking with my friend who's now like engineering manager in different team. He has a lot of experience of being like team leader, tech leader, and as he mentioned, each team is different, and mostly each time you are starting from the beginning. As manager, one of your responsibilities will be to improve the work of your team, work on strategy. It's important to notice what is missing. Sometimes it will be lack of specific skills in the team. Sometimes you will need to access what work is ahead of you and maybe hire an additional person. Prepare the structure and making sure like as a manager, you should try to anticipate what will be needed and act ahead of time, as you need to help your team to success by building structures, connecting and filling the gaps. Maybe sometimes you need like skill sets from different teams. So maybe like going to their manager, discuss, maybe some of the engineers from that team can like help your team to grow. Maybe you will need some like cross-team project, but don't try only focusing that you will manage it, but also like work on the strategy, what can help you to succeed. The first breaks until I got into the role I managed, I think I managed to combine coding and being a manager, but then I had realized that if I want to be a good manager, I need to spend like less time coding. It doesn't mean that I don't code at all. Sometimes I have time for it, but now, judging by the day, the amount of written code is not the main criteria for me. And I remember like myself sitting and thinking, okay, so what is like a way of to say that, okay, I achieved something during the day. I had some meetings, I had one-on-ones or something, but yesterday I was having one-on-one with one of my direct reports, and we are like in step of preparing him to promotion, and seeing how happy he is with opportunity he's getting, it's something making myself happy, and I see that like it's really great when you can help someone to develop. And I think the question I ask myself, like, what do you expect most from your manager? And what I was missing was some of my previous fans, it was they were not listening to me. I come with, okay, I have some problem, and like, okay, try to resolve it on your own, but not even like listening to me with like with the details, but like, if you will not manage, come, I will help you. And I ended up with feeling, okay, if my manager is not even listening to me, I don't need like someone to say me what to do. I was expecting someone like to just to listen to myself, and it's something what I'm trying to do with my team is listening to them. If they're coming with some problems for me, I give them a space to discuss, ask some questions, and mostly all the time they will be able to resolve this problem on their own, but they will feel that it's matter for you. So what was scary for me, the first one-on-one as a manager can be tough and scary. I will share a few things that helped me, but I remember like before I was having one-on-ones with my manager, it was like great. Like I just need to like join the meeting or like go to the office, and in this case was okay. I need to do something on my own. So it's not a status update. It's something I had in my career before. When joining one-on-ones, it was only time when I was getting information what we are planning, what are like tasks I need to focus, it's important that it's time for you like to discuss about the person, like to learn more about your direct report. Ask the question how you can support them. Maybe they have some problems and you can help them. It's also very important to prepare an agenda. Like I recall my one-on-ones with one of my managers, and it was taking me longer to go to the office, like to the room in the office, than like our one-on-one, because it was, how are you? Like like generally was my answer, yeah, I'm good, and like asking about him. So do you have any problems? No. And in this case, it was end of the one-on-one. It's not best idea. Like be prepared, ask some questions, have a list of questions before, and making sure you have consistency with your one-on-one meetings. Don't skip them, don't reschedule them pretty often. If you need, yes, you can, but generally better like if you have it weekly, try to have it in the same time and making sure like you are preparing. Ask a lot of questions. It's something, and like ask open question, like, and listen, actively listen. It's important also to discuss career goals and plans. I recall myself always answering to question, what is like my plan? I was always selecting the technical one. And on one of the my one-on-ones, like it was, I think, 2 months before I jumped into engineering manager's role, I was saying, maybe sometime in future, I will be open for management role, because I really like to take care of team. I like team activities, so it was great for me. And I was thinking maybe in 2 years it will be good. And it was different, but yeah. And one of the important things also, make notes. Be prepared, so it will help you to track the progress, and also it will mean for your direct reports that the things they are talking with you, it also matters for you. Remember, your relationship with each individual team member will vary. It's important to match with your direct report. What works with one may not work with another, and don't try to focus to force them to do something they don't like, and try to work on the way will be the best way to discuss with each of them. If you're passionate, you'll be great. In my opinion, if we're lack of experience, but we really want to develop ourselves, if you like this role, it's a good start on the way. Yes, you can't be good a manager just because you feel passionate about it, but it will help you not to give up quickly and have the desire to develop yourself, take on new challenges, and strive for success. I have a few managers on my way. Some I've had better luck with, some I had worse luck with. The experience has helped me to figure out what kind of leader I would like to be and what is important for me, and whatever I listen to myself or trying to be the leader that someone else has imposed on me. One of your important tasks will be to solve problems and support your team on their way to succeed. It is important not to pass the buck to someone else, but to do everything you can to unlock your team and take the next steps forward. Sometimes there will be more problems than you expect, but remember the team believes in you and you count on their support. So maybe let's, before we'll be moving forward, maybe I can help answer some questions.
Yes, we have some great questions. The first one is, well, I go back to find the other ones, but do you, a lot of people wanted to know if you miss coding. Do you miss coding?
I think it's a hard question. Yes, sometimes no, but I think it's a big plus of being manager. Sometimes you can select the task you really like and work on it. And before, like as individual contributor, you need to you have task in here, you need to take from priorities. And as manager, sometimes you can cheat on it and select which one you like. But yes, sometimes I miss, and sometimes I would like to spend more time on coding. But seeing my team developing and seeing them on their way to success, I think it's more rewarding than even writing the code.
I love that. Yeah, it seems like you really found it fulfilling, which is key to being a good manager. So Kelly wanted to know if you've ever seen someone, can you be an engineering manager of things, or is it usually people?
I think it depends on companies, but I think, for example, being a tech lead, more focused on technical stuff, will be more on things than on people. And as engineering manager, we mostly will be focusing on people.
We have a lot of great questions. This is one that comes up a lot from Kaylin Wu. How do you organize your time to make it work? It's an art to manage time in these roles. Do you have any tips for that, especially when you need to structure deliverables?
I think the tips from me, it will be focus blocks in the calendar. It's important to focus sometimes, because you can have a lot of meetings, and I'm trying to start my week with putting some coding focus blocks, maybe not coding blocks, before it was coding blocks, and knowing that I will not accept new meetings during this time. Sometimes if my manager is coming to me that with something really important, I can skip it, but generally I'm trying to focus, to having the focus blocks.
Great. Here's a great one from, I'm just going to look for, from Amira. Do you have any, you touched a little bit about this, but for agenda topics, when you're doing a one-on-one, what are some common agenda topics that you recommend?
Yes, I have even a list. So in the end, you can reach to me. I will send a whole list. But generally, I was attending one meeting, one training more, we can say, about one-on-ones, effective one-on-ones, and asking even how the team feeling, your individual person is feeling about their plans, what they like from previous week, what they see the team is stuck or something, and making sure you're listening, because pretty often one person is even talking about some general stuff, you can see the important topic for them. I think we can get back to presentation and we'll have more questions then.
Great.
Okay, So just because you're now a manager doesn't mean you're alone. Your manager is also interested in your development that you succeed, because it's also his success. In my case, I become manager of a team in which I have worked with some people even before, like from my beginning with Codility. I joined a company as a junior front-end engineer, and I had a great mentor. It will be mentor I will be always thankful. And now he's engineer who is in my team, and now I'm supporting him in his development. And it's like really great to see that you can switch the roles. You can be a manager, you can like work together. And now I know that I can rely on him. Remember that there are people in company who will help you, and like building this relationship between your team is really nice. Like first month as manager, and during your first month, it's important to focus on getting to know the team, figuring out how things will work together. Ask as many questions as possible, and don't be afraid of not knowing, and don't try to hide. And like just avoid like focusing on yourself. It's not, now you're not individual contributor who is like way to success, like to focus on task. Like try to learn more about your direct reports and your team. It's a new role for you. There are more responsibilities and you may not know something. Remember that when you start programming, how many questions you had, how often things didn't work as you, and you were frustrated. It's also the same in management. Like even like having a great manager in one company, it's not always will be the same in different team, in different company. So accept that sometimes you don't know something. And the announcement that I became a manager felt on my first day of vacation. I couldn't find a better time for vacation, but it was planned even earlier and I couldn't postpone it. After returning, I want to catch up quickly, but didn't decide in what order. And I felt tired very quickly. Like coming back from vacation, like in 2 days, I was like, okay, I need vacation. On my own experience, I noticed how important it is to determine what I have to do in the first moment and what can wait. Adding time slot to work on some specific topic helped me a lot. One of the very important things in the team for me has been always open communication, and that's something that when I become a manager, I wanted to continue to have in my team. When we plan what the team will be going to work on, we try to do a refinement where every member of the team has the opportunity to share their opinion. Knowing who's responsible for what helps us avoid various problems. And like making sure you clearly define your expectation, role, and responsibility, it's something I think really working great in our team. After transition from front-end engineer to engineering manager, I really wanted to prove to everyone that I can do it and try to take a lot of topics just on my own. I realized pretty quickly that it's not the best strategy. I have a great team in my team, and if you manage them well, we can do much more. I stopped wanting to be a hero and focus on helping the team to set a good goal and direction, not trying to put myself always. And I really like to be like leader in shadow, when like you're like only helping the team to develop and like not taking like, because it's the team success is also your success, but giving the kudos for my team for doing great work is also very great. It's important for the team to know what success looks like so they can strive to achieve it. Share your ideas about team plans. How would you like to solve a problem? What steps you are taking to help the team to deliver a feature? What are long-term goals for the team? It will be also important for you. When you become a manager, like you usually try to follow the ways from the previous manager of the team acted. It's important to try something new. Don't try to change. Try to think about the fact in the different ways. we can achieve the same result, and sometimes it's worth checking if a different approach will not be better for you and your team. As individual contributor, I love to go deep into technical problems and solve it. Now it's different quite often. I come with a pre-prepared problem to the team, and team is like thinking about the details. And it's okay, like you're having the wider field of vision, but less depth, and like allow your team to drive the topic. Becoming a manager requires accepting responsibility for enabling others to succeed. Taking that lightly or even unknowingly is setting yourself and those who report to you for failure. Always try to help your team to grow and learn new things. Create a team, not a collection of individuals. Maybe cross-functional projects, role rotation, training the owner of the topic can help you to support your team in their development. After my first 3 months, I sat down and asked myself, is this was a role I liked? If I want to continue, what I like, and what I wanted to improve. My answer was definitely I would like to continue, and set out the things I would like to improve. Now I'm feeling more comfortable and confident in the role. I'm happy to support my team. And as I mentioned before, learn about your management style and like every single day. When I became a manager, I knew I had a lot of things to learn. The way that helped me to set myself for a challenge for 100 days, that during this time, I will devote at least 30 minutes every day to study. Sometimes it was exactly 30 minutes, sometimes it was like longer, but the way I really like. Tracking like your successes, it was easier as individual contributor. You like finish the task, deliver the feature, and now you'll need to track your success a bit differently. So remember now, success is not written code, but something else. And it's also great. Remember to collect it in some way to help you to move on. In order to achieve success, I had to leave my comfort zone. Becoming a manager for a while, I worked in the company for over 2 years. Managed going from junior to senior as a front engineer, felt comfortable about doing my task, and now a new role, new responsibilities, new manager, and higher expectations. Unfortunately, I don't feel very comfortable, but it gave me a strong push to grow. You need to become a facilitator, like try to like address a problem, and in this way, like saying the team, okay, we have a problem, how we can solve it, and think you have great engineers in the team and they can support you. So it's not one-way street. You can change your role in future. So important to know that now I switch to like it's not promotion. Like going as engineering manager is not a promotion; it's a career change. So it's mostly horizontal, different horizontal track. So if you would like to get back to being an engineer, it's still a possible. So why not? Yes, I think you can do everything yourself, but will it be easy or not? Take advantage of the fact that you have a great team that is willing to support you in various topics. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and it will make it easier for you and also allows others to enable for success. A new role, new challenges, sometimes a fear of failure can make you like to do as little as possible just to avoid the change of failure. Remember, everyone started out. You have done amazing things in your life, and now you will go. Don't afraid to take a step forward and go an extra mile. And like in the end, like enjoy the process. Like team management, it's not like it's complex, but it's also very incredible feeling when you see your team developing. I have now started to prepare people from my team for promotion and seeing how they develop and how important my support is for them motivates me to continue and not to give up. So thank you for listening to me. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or like an email. If you have any like further questions or like interested in materials, I found useful, let me know. And now I think we have time for questions.
Thank you, Nataliya, and thank you for being available for people. I always tell people, feel free to take a screenshot right now of her email so you don't lose it. But we have a few questions and we have about 5 minutes. So very quickly, I'd like to get this question from Sarah, just a little bit of a clarification. So when you said you were studying, you do these time blocks for studying. What exactly are you studying?
I was taking some courses about management. I was reading some books about management, like even going through some articles or checking like some hard topics I was discussing with my team. It was a way of like still somehow improving. And pretty often I was spending more than like 30 minutes for like reading books about management, like your way of like how you can support your team.
Great. Okay, here's a question from Shondell. And this, a bunch of people have asked this. Tiffany, some other people have asked, basically, what's been the most difficult issue you have faced as a manager? I think a lot of people are nervous about managing people. So what are some of the challenges? Yeah.
The hardest one was that on the beginning of my journey, I think it was like 2 weeks as manager, you need to say goodbye to one of our teammates. So it was hard because this person also joined and I supposed to be his mentor. But like it was better for team and like also for the progress. So it was really hard taking this decision, but yeah.
Great. Yeah, that does sound, I think that's what people are nervous about when they think about becoming a manager.
But I think it's important to know that you have a manager mostly about you, and from their like experience, they probably already have this kind of situation. So ask for help.
Definitely. You mentioned in your talk about that you can change your mind. You can be a manager and then you can go back to individual contributor. So a few people asked this bit kind of question. Do you take time? Do you feel like you need to keep up and keep studying technically, or do you focus on management skills?
Generally, I'm trying to focus on management skills. Sometimes I like doing side projects, like we were doing like project to help refugees from Ukraine to learn Polish or English. Sometimes I'm doing code reviews or like taking some small tasks, like just not to block my team if I will take some bigger one and will be not be able to finish. But generally, I'm trying to focus on management skills.
Great. So for our last question of the day, a few people asked this, if you have any books or resources that you recommend for learning management skills. So that's
yes, it was. I think which one I will recommend now to be Radical Candor. It's really nice book about like learning about like how you can manage, and also I have one Just Work, and it's really also nice about different experience and like different problems, but also extreme leadership. I think I'm not sure about the name, but it's also like a lot of good books, and like just try not to like lose your mind in all the books, and like sometimes it's better to try.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. So we've come to the end now. Thank you everybody for your questions. I'm sorry we couldn't get to all of them. Everyone had great advice about what makes a good manager, what they're looking for, but definitely keep connected. And thank you so much, Nataliya, and thank you for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you. And
okay, we're going to take a 1-minute break and we will be back with our next speaker. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.